Hey y'all, hi. So I'm here at my vanity and here's the situation. It's not a mess like it has been in the past when I have sort of had to set aside a bunch of time to do a serious reset, organization, declutter, etc. It's not like the unholy mess that you've seen it in the past, but I'm getting to this interesting point where it just feels like there's a little too much stuff floating around for comfort, for the sense of kind of clarity and ease and the sense that everything has a place and everything has a place to return to. It's not the crazy mess that it sometimes is because I've been setting aside time in the evenings to reset it. But for the past week or two, every time I do that, I still end up feeling like it's not enough. It's like I'm resetting it and I'm clearing space, but I'm stuffing stuff into places where there's already stuff. And then when I go to get ready, there's too much stuff all in one place. And it's not the way that it was at the beginning of the year anymore. I've let it get a little bit out of hand. So this video is probably going to be kind of a combination of reckoning with PR products and review makeup, light declutter, and reorganization to some degree. I'm not going to be pushing myself to make any super hard declutter decisions today because it just feels like too much on top of everything. But if there are easy decisions, I'll make them as I go. I mean, mostly it's just like something that I was going to do. What I'm about to do is something that I was going to do this evening or this weekend or something. And I just decided to film it, even though it's kind of a combination of things. I just thought you might like to see it. If this happens to be your first time watching my channel, I hope that you will enjoy this. I'm usually down in my studio space. I sometimes make fashion content where I film, in my wardrobe. Overall, it's just a lot of content about beauty, about fashion, about aesthetics. And the guiding principle is that I really value quality over quantity. So even though I go through a lot of makeup for review because that's an aspect of my channel, I don't like to let it accumulate too much. I like to keep my own personal collection of makeup edited enough so that it really feels like it has some breathing room, and that's what I'm going to work at getting back to today. If you like it, I hope you'll subscribe. And now let's go ahead and get into the meat of this video. Okay, I'm going to start here on the surface of my vanity. These boxes and these boxes down here are basically just full of things that I'm either reviewing or have recently reviewed or have photographed. Like a bunch of the stuff that's in here I was using to create flat lays for Instagram, and then I brought them up here and I just stashed them on my vanity. I need to go through all of this stuff and consolidate and organize and weed out the things that have already been reviewed and decide what I'm going to do with them. So let's start with this Natasha Denona stuff. I don't know about this yet. The question about this, I recently did like a whole Natasha Denona review with a bunch of products. The question about this is whether I'm going to keep it or not. And I feel like I haven't been using it for long enough to know whether or not I want to keep it or give it away. So this needs to stay in purgatory. And that makes me realize that I don't really have like a makeup purgatory box going on top of my vanity. Everything is sort of being reviewed. So I'm going to start a group of things where I'm just like, I still need a little bit more time before I decide if I'm going to keep it or not. The rest of this Natasha Denona stuff, the Glam palette, the concealers, which actually neither one of these is the concealer that I reviewed in that video. I ended up loving the finish so much in the footage when I reviewed the footage that I went back and actually bought with my review budget. So this wasn't PR. This was like me deciding that it was worth some of my channel's money to buy the two lightest shades and see if either of them would be a better match for me. And one is just a little bit on the pink side, and the yellow one's a little bit on the dark side, but mixed together, they're very, very close in color to the Rose Ink concealer, which is my perfect match. I put some swatches up on Instagram, so I'll link those down below so you can go see. I've been wearing these together on my face almost every day, and it's actually kind of awesome. So I'm actually gonna keep these for sure, and I'm keeping the lipstick too. The mini Glam I actually haven't decided about yet. I'm going to keep this in purgatory. I like it, but I would also like to give it to someone as a gift. I don't need to keep everything. I have so much makeup. And the full-sized Glam, of all of these eyeshadows in this and the full-sized Glam, my favorite eyeshadows are in the full-sized Glam. So I think I could probably part with this and put it in purgatory for a little longer. And then N1, which is the shade of the concealer that I reviewed in that video, I'm definitely going to give this away. For the time being, I'm going to put these where they go, like in their drawers. So the concealer with the complexion stuff, the lipstick with the lip products, the eyeshadow palette with the eyeshadows, and we'll see them again as I go through and organize. Let's make this red box the purgatory box. Let's make this periwinkle box the declutter box, like the giveaway box. All of these Surratt products are still on deck. I haven't filmed with them yet. I'm still testing them for review. And I think that things that are in that category, I want to keep them in this little caddy, but first I have to clear it out. So these are the shades of the Rituel Defee 3-drop weightless serum foundation that didn't work for me. Credo sent me 3 shades to find the best match for review, and it ended up being this one, 105. So I'm going to hang on to this and keep testing it. Like, that's something I want to keep playing with it before I decide whether or not I'm going to keep it long term. These 2 can be donated. The Flower Girl lip gloss from Juvia's Place, I am going to give to a friend. I already discussed that in a video. Same with the Kjaer Weis Red Hot gloss. I think this will look really good on my sister, and I bet she'll really like it. I'm going to give that to her. Oh wait, no, this is the wrong box. Giveaway box. These Kiss lashes came in PR. It's like this system of teeny tiny bits of lashes, and they're sticky on top. And so you're supposed to put them underneath your eyelashes, and this little sticky strip on top like sticks them to the underneath of your eyelashes instead of on top. And I guess that they feel like that means that the sticky adhesive that's on them is sufficient and you don't need glue. When I first opened them, I was like, wow, that seems like a really great idea. And I've tried a couple of times to apply them and I haven't really been able to make it work. I might try one more time though. I think I really need to make a good faith effort, a better faith effort than I have. It came with this. This is like the applicator. I don't know. Put them in the red box. Oh no. I'll keep them in the testing it for review box. A couple of products from Gen C Beauty that came as PR that I haven't even opened yet. I would like to test these and maybe review them either on Instagram or on camera. I'm going to keep those in this spot. And all of the Surratt stuff is going to go in here too in preparation for its use in an upcoming video. Okay, I'm already feeling more organized. I already feel better. This is a just launched lip product from Kjaer Weis. It's a lip balm, but it's in a tube instead of being in that little like compact that their old lip balms. I mean, they still sell that product and it's a great product. But for years, I've been thinking they should come out with a stick format lip balm, and they finally did. This is also in a really wearable shade for me. I'm gonna try not to do too much swatching in this video because it'll get away from me. But you know, it's really quite sheer, something you can just lather on, perfect for keeping in a handbag, and I really love this brand. So I already know that I'm going to keep this. Like, I've already been taking it with me when I go places. I'm going to put it away with the lip products. Okay, and this is all just, this is kind of a mess. I mean, this just got stashed on top of my vanity. This is in my current Shop My Stash, which is like this little pile that I'm keeping on top, and you'll see this pile more close up in a later part of this video. I just took that downstairs with me to use it for some Instagram flat lays. The Gen C lip mask I love. I'm actually going to put this on my bedside table. And then there's some flat lay stuff here that doesn't belong here, like jewelry. Doesn't belong on my vanity. These little velvet bags are from this jewelry brand, Heaven Mayhem. I love the earrings that they sent. Amazing. But I haven't been keeping my jewelry on top of my vanity. I've been keeping it on top of our dresser. So I'm going to put these there. Some makeup from La Perla Beauty, which is the beauty brand that's adjacent to the fancy lingerie brand. I posted briefly about these on Instagram, but I haven't included them in a video yet or anything. So I'm going to put them in the still to review on camera bin. Some perfumes that I had out for flat lay. I'm going to put them on top of the dresser as well. I'm really excited to have connected with this brand Machete that makes these amazing acetate accessories. I've actually been admiring what they do from afar for a long time, and many times considered buying one of these really beautiful clips, and I just hadn't quite gotten there yet. They sent this to me, and these amazing sunglasses. I don't keep sunglasses here, though. I do keep hair stuff here. I'm going to put that in the disorganized hair stuff area, but I'm going to put these sunglasses with my other sunglasses. Okay, serious progress. There's one task that needs doing before I change the angle here of the camera. A lot of my brushes badly need to be washed, but not all of them need to be washed, but they're all mixed together. I am just quickly going to go through and separate the ones that need to be washed from the ones that don't. Okay, these are the ones that really, really need to be washed. These are the ones that I feel like can keep going for a while. So I'm going to put these aside and wash them this weekend. Okay, we're down here at the other end of the vanity. And here I'm keeping the things for which I shopped my stash. So this is makeup that I've decided to have on top of my vanity instead of in the drawers so that it's in my face every day. However, these Surratt lid lacquers are actually in the still testing to decide if I want to keep them category. I also haven't filmed the Surratt video yet, so I'm going to put them with the other Surratt stuff. All the rest of what's here in this little pile is from that Shop My Stash session. That was a video. I'll try to remember to link every video that I'm referencing down below. So the Rowan 1111 quad, the Rouge face palette, the Gucci palette, and Pat McGrath's Midnight Sun. And then these lipsticks have gotten infiltrated. So these are the two that I picked for Shop My Stash. Gucci A Royal Scandal and Merit 1990. So these two are supposed to be here right on top of the vanity along with those other products, but Merit Aperitif, Merit Cabo, and Juvia's Place Brown Sugar Gloss are not. So the Brown Sugar Gloss is going in the still testing to make sure that I really want to keep it long-term pile. Merit Aperitif, I definitely am keeping long-term, and Cabo I've had for a long time, so I'm putting them back with the lip products. Now, the skincare situation, I know that it doesn't look that bad, but this is too much for me. This is too many options. Stuff has sort of just gathered here. I need to weed out some of this stuff and clarify and put some things away to be used for later, make some decisions, etc. So these are just some little fragrance samples that have been hanging out with my skincare that for one reason or another I thought I wanted to try. Here's the thing. When I wear fragrance, I wear one of the 2 or 3 that I have larger bottles of. I'm just not over here testing these. I think I just need to give it up and put them in my giveaway box. It's even if I think they smell kind of good, I'm just not testing fragrances right now and they're just taking up space and making it kind of cluttered. There are some empties here, some used up things. I'm going to weed those out and put them with my empties so that I can discuss them in a video. And now I'm going to weed out the things that I feel like can actually go in my backups space. So I try not to keep too many backups, but I also don't like having too many choices when I sit down to do my skincare. So some of these I like and I do want to use, but I just don't need to use them right now because they're redundant in my routine. And I would rather take them off of my vanity to keep it clearer and store them. So I'm going to weed those out now. Oh, this is a full and unopened bottle of this really nice product. It's a hyaluronic acid serum from Kjaer Weis. As you can see, I've used up quite a lot of the one that I used, and I did really like it, but I don't feel like I desperately need another one. A hydrating serum is something that I have sort of many forms of, and I don't necessarily use it every day. And I know my sister really loves Kjaer Weis and really loves hyaluronic acid serums, so I'm going to give this to her. I'm currently using this really amazing vitamin C booster from Clinique. I bought this for myself because I really have been needing to put some energy into skin brightening. My skin has been getting kind of dull and sallow, and it seems like really great vitamin C is the best way to approach that. This isn't something that I would use constantly because it's quite expensive and it's sort of like a temporary thing. You deploy it when you open one up, you deploy the powder and it mixes with the serum, and then it says it's at its freshest and most potent for 7 days. And then you can continue to use it for another week after that, but it really only lasts 2 weeks. There are 4 of them in the box. So if you use it all straight through, it's really just a 2-month supply. Or if you're really intense about it, like I kind of am, and you want to use it when it's at its most potent, it's really just a 1-month supply, and it's way too expensive to be using it constantly at that rate. So I just got this to use one time. Like I'm just going to go through these 4 over the course of a couple of months, and then that's going to be it. And I think that'll really help my skin a lot. They don't need the box out. I'm going to put the box with my backups and just keep the one that I'm using out. For some reason, there's a white paint marker here. That's definitely in the wrong place in my life. I have had this little Laneige lip sleeping mask on my bedside table for a long time, for months. It's the grapefruit flavor. It's really sweet, and I think it's probably just pregnancy, but lately I've been like not wanting to use it at night, like just not wanting to reach for it because the sweetness is kind of overpowering. And last thing at night before I go to sleep, I don't really feel like putting it on my lips. I much prefer the one from Gen C because it is unscented and it works just as well. I think that I might go ahead and actually declutter this because, again, I've been working away at it for months. I don't really love using it. If I put it in my backups and then like use up the Gen C one, which is going to take forever because you just use a tiny bit at a time, you know? I feel like this will be expired by then and my fingers have been all in it. I just don't need to keep it. Okay, this is much more my speed. This is something I can work with. I'm going to now organize. Okay, fantastic. So I have skin prep products right here. This is the new RMS SPF 30 Radiant Skin Prep thing that is effing amazing. Like, I'm so into it. It has a slight tint as well. And Merit Great Skin, which obviously I love. I mean, you can see I've been using it. I tend to use Merit Great Skin on days when I am prepping my skin for filming and I am not going outside and I don't necessarily feel like I really need that SPF protection, but I really want my skin to kind of be at its best for makeup, like to really be prepared, moisturized and plumped and ready for like applying makeup on camera or testing makeup on camera. That's what I really use this for. And then lately, all other days, I've been using the RMS. Here I have the vitamin C serums that I've been using. This is just a random one from Glytone. This was PR at some point, I think from Skin Store. And I really like the consistency of it. It's just like really nourishing and my skin seems to love it. As you can see, I'm kind of doubling up on the vitamin C these days. These are lightweight hydrators right here, an eye cream and the Kosas brow growth serum, which I keep forgetting to use. Down here, I have a group of more heavy duty moisturizers, like last step moisturizers that I put on at the end of my skincare routine at night, and a little bit of acne care stuff over here and these little tester packets that I really want to use. Okay, that's so great. I feel way better about this than I did about the other situation. All right, this is the eyeshadow drawer. I don't keep all of my eyeshadows in here. Some of them are downstairs where I do my filming. As you saw, a couple of them are up on top of the vanity, the ones for which I shopped my stash. Those are the ones that tend to get the most action, especially because I also have things that I'm testing mixed in. I find that if this drawer contains like all of my eyeshadow palettes and just absolutely everything crammed in together, it's overwhelming and I'm less likely to be able to see what I have when I open it up. So you like to keep it a little bit curated and store like all of the big palettes elsewhere and then rotate them in from time to time. Even so, as you can see, it's a scattered situation and I just feel like eyeliners could maybe stand to be casually decluttered. Let's start there. When I say casually decluttered, I mean I'm just going to go through and look at them and see if there are any that sort of leap out at me as ones that I can let go of rather than going through really systematically. This is in the wrong place. That's a lip liner. This Kaja thing, it's like if I ever do a wing, it's nice to have. This Jillian Dempsey eye kohl is just really old. It's a great product, but every time I go to use it, I'm like, it's old. Also, it's a very warm brown, and I feel like it always lets me down a little bit because of that. I feel like I don't need this brown liquid eyeliner from Flower Beauty. This is actually a primer, and I want to put it somewhere else. I want to put it in my other drawer. The About Face shadow stick, technically I am still testing to decide whether I want to keep it, so that's in the wrong place. The Victoria Beckham Kajals I'm definitely keeping. That's like the best formula ever. This is the black eyeliner pen that goes along with the wing stamp. Oh, this is the Surratt thing. I really love this. It's not part of the upcoming video. This is the one that I've had for a long time. And so I guess this is my black eyeliner. It's Urban Decay Perversion. It's the only just straight up black gel liner that I have. And I remember keeping this purple one, this dark purple from Esom in my last declutter because it's such a great color to have. But y'all, I haven't used it since then. I just haven't been using eyeliner very much. It's like if I use it, I just want to use one of my VB Beauty ones. I think I can give this away too. Wow, that was progress. I am never mad at the glitters, so I'm gonna keep them. It's just when I want them, I really love them, including these. Oh, these are in the wrong place. Those are face products. This is in the wrong place. This is a mirror. I actually really like to have this on my vanity. Great little makeup mirror. So these right here, this little group, this is all single eyeshadows in their own little container. And just briefly glancing over them, all of them can stay. The Phytosurgents, they're really great, special, very grungy. This is ColourPop Adaptogen, which I really like. Tom Ford Naked Bronze, the iconic Chantecaille shadows, the VB Beauty Onyx shade, and this YSL shade from that violet gray video. That's actually really great for defining and darkening the outer corner. I'll often take it with me traveling to complement whatever else I brought with me. So these are fine. They were just scattered all over. These little can make products I've ended up really loving, but I don't need them both. I think I'm just gonna keep the sort of ballet pink one and give away the silver one. The Tom Ford quad that I got from Khaki, it can stay. I really love it, although I haven't been using it very much, and this kind of makes me want to use it more. Rowan 75 Degrees Warm, it can stay. My little custom Lisa Eldridge palette from when I reviewed Lisa Eldridge eyeshadows. After all this time, I still have a little bit of trepidation about this because I found the cream to powders just a little bit fussy and difficult to work with. I'm gonna hang on to it, but I'm aware that I need to make more of an effort to use it so that I can really decide if I want to keep keeping it. This is a custom palette that I built the last time I filmed an overhead video building a custom palette. I'll link that video down below. And the perfect little spot for Natasha Denona Glam palette. This is much better, more my speed. I have just not really been using the products in this drawer because it was disorganized. It was the way that you saw it minutes ago. And this makes me really want to use it. So very happy with that. But this was the easy one because there aren't that many things in here. The next drawer, the real bugaboo. Y'all, look how out of control this has gotten. Look at this. This cannot go on. Do you remember what it was like at the beginning of the year? For me, for what I have gotten accustomed to, for what I prefer, this is way out of hand. And this drawer is actually what has driven this entire video. It's a combination of too much stuff for the space, stuff being in the wrong place, decisions that haven't been made yet. I've been putting it off long enough and it's time. I barely even know where to start. This little area right here is where I put complexion products, and it's supposed to be that I have few enough complexion products and mascaras. Yeah, like concealers and mascaras and brow products. And it's supposed to be that I have few enough of them that they all fit here easily and they don't like pile on top of each other like this. It's basically the things that I reach for every single day. And you know, this little area is what gets the most action basically out of all of my makeup. It's like when I need something, it's almost always like right here. But way too much stuff has collected here. I actually don't even know if I'm sure why. So let's try to figure it out. This is in the wrong place, the lip product. Okay, I figured it out. There's all this stuff that was mixed in, about half of it, that I'm either not using, it's expired, it's used up. A lot of these are mascaras that I think are just too old to keep using. I mean, I just, I have too many mascaras for one person to get through in the allotted amount of time because I'm testing mascaras. And the ones that I don't use constantly, they sort of end up falling to the wayside and then eventually expiring, even if they're not totally empty. All of these are ones that I liked enough to keep in here and use from time to time. But they're all old enough that I'm like, it's over. I was never going to use any of them again, and they were taking up so much space in there. These two old Glossier brow flicks are totally used up and dried out. This Benefit Brow Wax was fantastic when I used it all up. And same with the Haus Labs pencil. It is all used up. I was just keeping it in here for the spoolie, but I have another spoolie that's fine. And the About Face brow pencil I really didn't like. And I also was enjoying using the spoolie, but I don't need to keep these two products around just for their spoolies anymore. So that was a lot of progress. All the rest of what's in here I'm using all the time. And I would like to clear a little more space back here so that it has a little more room to spread out. So the Misha Perfect Cover BB Cream, it's too dark for me. I've been keeping it around to see if I can find a way to mix it into things and make it work because I really like the texture, but it's in the wrong place. It should be in Purgatory because I haven't decided for sure. Gosh, I feel like I have too many complexion products in here. I think I might take Auric Glow Lust out and put it on top of my vanity because the bottle is so pretty. I always wish that I used it more, and it takes up so much space in here, and also it's too tall and I have to lie it down on its side. Bring that up. Oh, this is the RMS Uncover Up Cream Foundation. I love the color 000 in the RMS complexion products. I am testing this. I'm supposed to be testing it. I have been neglecting it because it's in the wrong place. It needs to be in the tester area too. I have some trepidation about it because it has coconut oil in it. So the test is sort of to see if my skin handles it okay. But needless to say, it's just been floundering here and not getting tested because I keep forgetting about it. This little e.l.f. brow cream I actually really like. It was like totally lost at the back there. I think part of what's happening here is that I have a larger collection of complexion products that I like than I have had in years past. I sort of conceive of myself as someone who just has like the one concealer that works for everything. But in fact, I have a selection of makeup products that are like makeup that I've discovered in the course of reviewing. I think actually NARS should still be in Purgatory, but even still, there is too much stuff in this general category of like, I reach for it all of the time for this space. Yeah, I think what we need is a little reorganization. I think I need to take the illuminating primers out of here. So Natasha Denona Skin Glass, not just the illuminating primers, all the primers. Exa, Jumpstart, Lisa Eldridge Elevated Glow. I already took out Auric Glow Lust. Yeah. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them with my skincare because there's plenty of room on the skincare caddy. And I think that reconceiving of these, my primers, as being like last step skincare products is going to be really satisfying for me. The other thing I'm going to do is to put the eyeshadow primers in the eyeshadow drawer because there was also plenty of room in there and we're a little pinched for room right here. Look at that. Fantastic. Now everything that is in that, frequent use category, something that I'm always looking for, always reaching for, everything has its own little spot. They all have room to spread out. I'm so happy with that. Now it's time to tackle this. And, these are my cheek products. I am just not sure all that much can be done today in terms of clarifying this situation. I think that this section, the cheeks, it needs more of a heavy duty declutter than I'm prepared to deliver today. But let's go through and see what we can do. Because there might be, those things that have sort of gotten mixed in accidentally. For example, none of these K-beauty things have been chosen. They've just gotten thrown in here. They should be in the Purgatory box. I'm just not totally sure I want to adopt them long term. They're just for testing. And actually, these are the two newer Kjaer Weis blushes, and it's the same story with those. I just reviewed them. I just tried them on camera for the first time recently, threw them in here without thinking. They should be in Purgatory too. The e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, I love it. And it's so old, like a couple of years old. You know, there's just the bits around the edges. Every time I reach for this, which I do sometimes because I really like the texture of it, I really like how it works, it's gotten to the point where I reach for it and I open it up and I'm like, I'm not totally sure I want to put that on my face. So that's done. I'm just calling it. These are two products that I really like that I tested on camera recently, but again, I haven't made a conscious decision to keep them yet. They're technically still in purgatory. I'm gonna weed out the face powders. All right, here's another thing where I'm just gonna call it. The Pretty Fresh powder from ColourPop has been totally replaced by the new NARS foundation. I am gonna let this go. Its life with me is over. I only love the NARS now. And you know, powders last a really long time, but this Givenchy Prism Libre powder is like years and years and years old. And it's not just that it's years old, it's that I haven't used it in like a year. And it's because I have found products like this that are just so great. I loved using this when I was using it assiduously, and I used it assiduously for a really long time, but it's just taking up space in here now. I think I can let that go too. I still really like the Make Beauty translucent powder. I also still really like the Kosas powder, but the lid is broken. So I find myself reaching for the one from Make all the time. And to me, they pretty much serve the same purpose. I'm actually just going to keep these two, the NARS and the Make Beauty. The NARS has more coverage. The Make is more translucent. Powder is such a utilitarian thing for me rather than a thing that I like to collect multiples of. So that's it. I'm keeping those. I'm not even going to keep this one from Besame. And honestly, in terms of use, like how often I use them, they kind of belong over here with the Complexion things. So I'm putting them back here so they're on this side. They don't really belong with the cheek products. And now the cheek product situation is looking much more reasonable. Let me see what I can do to organize this. You know, I'm going to give away this Westman Atelier blush. It's a beautiful product. The color is just so... Never mind, I'm keeping it. I was sort of considering decluttering this Westman Atelier blush, but because the last time I used it, I thought it felt a little dry, but I think it was just because I hadn't used it in a while. Maybe it had kind of gotten a film on it. You know what? I love the Lotus Blossom Radiant Blush from Chantecaille, this. I also really like the powder, which I'm also keeping. It's like a really pretty radiant powder, but technically it's sort of in the powder category. I'm gonna put it over here with the powders. So I guess I have three powders, a coverage foundation, a translucent matte, and a translucent radiant. But the highlighter from this collection, I like it, but I'm not really using it. I'm gonna give that away. And you know what? This is another thing that I quite like and that I just never use. It's the packaging. This is the Ellis Foss blush. I like the color. I like the formula. I like the brand a lot. And I keep it through declutter after declutter because the color is so pretty. I never use it because it's just this stick in here. And I'm just much more inclined to reach for something that I can kind of see color of. It's just a lost cause trying to continue to use this in the face of everything else. So that's going to go as well. And wow, that is very satisfying. Oh, this guy got left over there. That's fine. Even so, this is a much better situation than I thought I was going to end up with. Oh my gosh, do you remember what it looked like 20 minutes ago in here? It was a nightmare. And this makes me so happy. I will be so much more inclined to use the entire breadth of my makeup collection now that it is organized like this. All right, y'all, the last drawer. This one's also very chaotic, but I'm hopeful that I can go through kind of quickly. I'm gonna start with the hair products because they're just sort of thrown in here. I'm just gonna take them all out and then put them back at the end in a more organized way. All right, and what's left here is lip products. I love lip products, and I started the year with fewer than this. I think some of what has accumulated here is stuff that should technically be in purgatory, so I'm gonna weed out some of that. I'm gonna do a little bit of organizing, like separating bullet lipsticks from glosses, but it might be that this drawer is just getting a little full compared to how it was before, and it also might be that that's okay. I'm gonna go through it quickly and see what I can do, and then we'll check in. All right, serious progress is being made. I came across these Ellis Foss Lippies. I hate to do it because they're both so great, but I'm going to declutter them for the same reason that I did the blush. I seriously never, ever use them, and it's because in my sort of vast collection, they just get lost because they're so disguised and homogeneous in their silver containers. So that's happening. Okay, so I did some organization just to kind of clarify things for myself. This group right here is like tinted treatment products. So things like the Merit Lip Oil and the NARS Afterglow Lip Balm, things that are nourishing and glossy but have tint. This is a category that I really love. I just want to find a way for them to kind of be more conspicuous instead of just being all over the place, because I feel like I sort of lose track of them and they're always what I'm reaching for. So I think I'm going to put them all right here, just so they're like front and center. And over here in the corner, you can't see, it's just my handful of lip liners. And yeah, I'm gonna put the Bonafide lip treatment products here as well, sort of lying flat. These are all the bullet lipsticks in here, and I'm gonna fill these spots with the actual glosses. So these are all the lip products that when I was going through, I thought, you know, they should technically be in purgatory. I haven't made a mindful decision about them. I've just been like, oh yeah, that's great, and sort of thrown them into the drawer. But really they just came from being reviewed and maybe haven't had long enough in that kind of in-between time for me to be sure that I really want to add them. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to decide now about this Ulta Beauty Dusty Mauve lipstick. I just know that I want to keep this. This was the far and away front runner from that recent video about grungy lipsticks at the drugstore. I feel the same way about the Natasha Denona Beatrice lipstick, the I Need a Nude. I'm happy to make that decision today. And actually Revlon Le Beige, which is also from one of the drugstore videos, I'm going to keep that too. I'm going to add that into my personal collection. So there are a couple of spots there. In fact, I'll go ahead and put the Merit Lip Oils there. And that's great. This is like much more approachable, much more my speed. I can see everything I have. This makes me feel like everything is going to be okay. And I'm going to put the hair clips and hairbands back now. Actually, these are so pretty. I kind of want to keep them. This one's sort of utilitarian for me. These are so pretty. I want to keep them out. I think I'm going to put them on top of our dresser. Actually, just one. I'm just going to put the machete one up there because it's so pretty. Yeah, that'll be good. All right, that's it for this drawer. We've come a long way. Again, like the Complexion drawer, I didn't think I would be able to get it into this clear and organized state, and I'm really glad that I was able to do it. All right, y'all. So this is the purgatory box, which is just like what I was missing before. The fact that I had been failing to keep a good, clean purgatory box is the reason that everything was so sort of scattered around and overstuffed. And so I'm really glad that this is back. This caddy is of things that I have yet to review that I need to make content with. And the giveaway box stuff I can take and add to my actual official giveaway box. So that clears up a lot of space. The illuminating primers fit beautifully with my skincare. So I've got the sunscreen here and the Merit, and then these are the illuminating primers next to them. So I feel like this section of my skincare right here is like stuff that I use to prep my skin after I finish with the rest of the skincare in the morning. And I'm excited to see how it goes having it organized like this. And of course, the drawers, infinitely better of a situation than it was before. I'm so glad that I took the time to do this. You know, I feel like compared to a really lovely, clean, personal vanity, it's a little bit of an undignified situation to have these like boxes piled with things. But this is the reality of my life, right? This space is used partly for my own purposes, which is kind of like what the drawers are. And it's also used partly for my work, for preparing videos, for testing stuff for videos, making decisions about makeup. So this is the reality. You know, this makes sense to me. It's kind of half and half. And at least now there is a place for everything and everything is in its place, which is just going to make it a lot easier for me to function in this space. I hope this was enjoyable to watch. I really appreciate you for being here, spending this time with me. Of course, I especially appreciate it when you comment on my videos, when you like my videos. And again, if you're new, I hope that you will choose to subscribe. But no matter what you do, please don't forget to take extra good care of yourself so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.